Everybody, thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic night. It is, of course, a beautiful night whenever it's Victory Monday. So we're here to celebrate, enjoy the Eagles being 8-2. I'm all about it. I'm excited to be atop the NFC East. And, obviously the other teams having quite their own struggles. We got one of those teams coming up to play here on Monday Night Football, but clearly the Eagles, quite a lead there. And then when looking at the NFC as a whole, well, we're number one there too. So, yeah, people are going to talk a lot about a lot of the bad that happened at this offense and, well, do their best. I'm going to do my best to try to talk. Holy Lord. But they're going to do their best to try to tear this team apart. We know what this team is capable of. They know what this team is capable of, and that's what they're afraid of. So I appreciate you all taking the time here tonight, and anything that you guys have on your mind, any questions, comments, anything that you want to throw out there, please feel free to do so. This is, again, a day of celebration, but your show, so you get to dictate what goes on here. So let me know what you want to talk about first. Offense, defense, the good, the bad. I'll get into whatever if you guys don't say anything. But, again, a win in the NFL is always a good thing. So I'm going to be excited about it. Do I think the offense can improve? Yes. Do I think it's jump ship? And do I think I need to buy a PFF subscription to tell you all the things I just watched and things we talk about before they happen? No, I don't. I think if we just – it's not about we, really. It's about the Eagles. That's what this comes down to. That's where I want to find the words. The Eagles need to find it within themselves to unlock this offense. It's not about us. We are fans. And my man Drew starting us off here with the Super Chat. Appreciate you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Wanted to try to get this out a little bit earlier. I was thinking about you, but you're up anyway. 2 a.m. Let's effing go. Nothing's going to stop this sicko. I appreciate you, my man. Love you too, dude, and hope you're doing well over there. Oh, man, what a game it was. I know you stayed up, so I hope you had a good day, man. I don't know what kind of sleep you have had, if any, but try to get yourself some tonight here. But a true sicko, I know how it goes, and seeing a game like that, it's one of those things where, it makes you like son of a like if they lose it, why did I stay up, right? When they win it, you're like, all right, thank you. But look, man, that game to me, I'll take a win, right? And we talked about going into it. It's the Lions, man. It's going to be probably one of our toughest battles of the year, and it was a tough battle. But this defense came to play. We talked about holding the offense to 6 points. We talk about, the offense. Yeah, it's got its struggles, but not anything to me that can't, be fixed and get us on our way. So Keith wants to talk about the defense. Drew, I was just about to ask you, since you threw the super chat, what you would like, but we got to vote for defense. Are you down with defense, or you want to talk about the offense? You want to go good first, or you want to go with the bad first? You guys let me know how you're feeling about this and what you want to talk about first. Keith, my man, appreciate you. I am doing well. Hope you are as also. And look, I'm trying to still get over this sickness, trying to just fend through all of it. So bear with me if I can't talk right or just keep losing my voice. I appreciate you guys. But, and yeah, man, I loved every minute of it when we win, right? We always do. And I love every minute of being an Eagles fan. It always sucks when they lose. But big head off the keyboard. Hey, man, I love it. But you know what? We're going to jump into it because, Keith, you were the first person to say something, and we gotta get it in there. You know what? I'll give a chance right now to anybody else. If you want something other, if you want the bad first, you want to talk about the offense instead of the defense, let me know. But special teams, we'll start with that, and then I'll give you an opportunity. But I don't mind talking about either. We talked about them last night. I, got a chance to rewatch some things, got a chance to really take a closer eye. Knowing we win is always easier watching it, but the team, at times it just doesn't seem like, I don't know, man, the offense doesn't want to get their head out of their ass, whether it's being too cute or trying to force things to people or whatever they're trying to do. But the special teams area, I've been, firmly, I think it's one of those things we've been, able to overlook because it hasn't been an issue. We had to get a new long snapper this year, and then he got hurt, and then we got another one, then we got another one. Now he's, was banged up for a second. Now he looked okay in this game, so he's looked all right since we've had him. We've had some new return guys. Nothing's really happened too crazy. So I don't know. Nakobe Dean, hell of a dude. See the offense wake up. No doubt. I'm all about it. Game goes to Nakobe. Yeah, man, I love that dude. So let's go. Defense time. So appreciate all of you tuning in here tonight. And we're going to start her off with this defense. And this was our bread and butter last night. And you guys know how I feel about this defense. And went to war last year to try to fend, people off from talking about, how Vic Fangio should be fired. And I think you see the madness now and why I love it so. This defense is very fun when you have the right pieces. And we do. We're getting healthy at the right time. You traded for Jalen Phillips, who's been a stud. And, you got Nolan back. He's getting his limited reps in. But this defense as a whole, just everybody, Makuba being a young rookie, just allowing him time to develop. Just so much that we talked about all year. We're seeing it. Right? Staying patient. We're watching it all unfold. Going against the Packers, going against the, Lions. 13 points there. I'm sorry, they added the field goal there. What, 16 points in maybe? Whatever it was. I don't give a shit. Either way. Oh, sorry. Throwing the cuss words out. Lions, to be able to hold them to 6 points, that's mind-boggling. That's awesome. That's what I wanted to see. So, we got that, man. We got the edge rush going. We got these guys locking people up, dude. I'm on Ross St. Brown doing nothing. No dancing for you, little buddy. And, Gibbs, well, he had his way. Exactly. We talked about, we got good linebackers. We can do our best, but they're going to use him in the pass game. And he had a 100-yard game, I think, first time in his career. The dude, he's just good. You watched him, right? We saw that, but we were still able to hold this team to 6 points regardless. So, this defense, baby. And we got Nakobe Dean back. We talked about, what would happen. Well, he took his job right back, and he has looked awesome. And Jahad Campbell still gets a little bit, but rightfully so. Nakobe starting with picking up right where he and Vaughn left off as the Bash brothers. There's the top two in the league, in my opinion. That is quite a duo. So I loved it. Ringo was great on special teams. Bob, hell yeah. Had a good play there. I'm going to get a lot of defense complex. Yeah, it'd be cool. He's got a few games to do that. Happy Victory Monday to you, Liz. Had a little poll here in the beginning who we wanted to talk about first, the good or the bad. So we're getting the good. We're getting the good. Talk about the defense. If we just want to break it down, really, talking about the linebackers, yeah, I think they did a great job. You're not going to stop Gibbs. I know what he is. The guy's a freak of nature. But overall, so happy to have Nakobe Dean back. A good problem to have with Jahad Campbell in the wings. Hell yeah. If Nakobe walks elsewhere, gets paid, I get it. But I love the dude. Best of luck if he does. The front, though, the line, oh, man. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, holy shit. Moro Ajomo. We talk about just how dominant these guys are. And, a lot of talk of needing to add there this offseason and never really understood that. But I think people are starting to understand how dominant these young men are. Wake up. And then the edge, Nolan Smith still getting limited reps, but Jalix Hunt continues to shine. No Uche in this game, but BG got his. BG had some nice plays. And, of course, Jalen Phillips continues to shine. So the edge guys were phenomenal. Interior guys were phenomenal. Linebackers were good. The corners, they targeted Quinion 6 times. 0 receptions were made. We talked about how nuts it was that they let us get him last year. Still can't believe it. Thank you for the Hall of Fame corner. And then the other Hall of Fame corner you let us get right after that in Cooper G. Really appreciate that. But, wow. Coop, still the man. What an interception. Let's effing go. Adoree Jackson, look, gave up that play to Jameson Williams, but I continue to say each week, I'm going to give him his flowers when he plays well. And I thought he came back well, put it, in the past and did his thing to, you make a bad play. It happens. We always want to see what these guys do with it. And I thought he came out and did pretty well. So the corners, I thought another great showing. And then the safeties. I thought Reed and Makuba played pretty well. Some big plays. Reed with some big hits. Love me some Reed. So overall, I liked it. And then I also wanted to mention Michael Carter a second. Remember you guys asked me, will we see, one of you had asked me if we'd see Ja'Cory Bennett. I said, I don't think so because Adoree Jackson is the guy that is the starter. And unless he, gives you a reason, keep starting him. I love Ja'Cory Bennett. Big fan of him. Maybe he can be the future. But Dory Jackson right now is playing well. Let's not try to fix what's not broken. But the one guy we talked about was Michael Carter II. I really like him. I like him as an extra defensive back, the guy who can play inside, who can also play a little bit of safety, and can be that dime cornerback. And, well, we had one package where he was out there for a play, and thought that was pretty cool. But overall, the defense, man, continues to show you why I think they're the best defense in the league. So let's effing go, baby. I told you, they'll all be right on board with this defense soon enough. And the offense, they'll be here soon enough, I think. And then they can all follow us there, too. Rob equals players from the awards. BG get Rob from. Oh, yeah, dude, they hate us. They always do, man. Always do. JP. Dude, Phillips for a third-round pick. And we talked about it. Dude could be a steal, former first-round pick. What are we talking about here? Why would you trade a third? Because if the dude does what he's doing, that's why. And, well, he's doing it. And I like every second of it. So the work, hey, appreciate you even taking the time, Liz. Hope you're having a great day at work. Really can't thank you guys enough. I'm going to try to watch the end of the Sixers game, maybe check out some Monday Night Football. But, yeah, I got some things to do. And, of course, Chelsea had to let me know. You got to let them know he's mine tonight. So I got to spend some time with the beautiful Chelsea as well. But she was obviously kidding. But hope you guys all have a great night that are tuning out or whatever. Really can't thank those of you who are tuning in for taking the time, rewatching, whatever. We're all busy in life, so I get it. But anytime you take to watch a show, I really can't thank you enough. The super chats, Drew, really can't thank you enough. Last couple of days you've been giving them. I think Liz, you did yesterday, you guys are just. I can't do this stuff without you. Really can't thank you enough. Work has been as of late, not liking things, but hey, man. So you guys have been nothing but help. So I can't thank you enough for that. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your night at work. But let's get into the offense, okay? We've sugar-coated this enough. We've talked about what we saw here on the defensive side of the ball and the special teams. Let's talk about the offense here. So, all right, to me, I'm going to start right off the bat. And look, Kevin Patullo, that'd be right. Oh, got to fire him. Everybody sucks. I'm not firing my offensive coordinator in week 12. That's not happening. Maybe play calling, things need to change, whatever, but I'm not firing anyone. Okay, let's get that behind us. We can't trade deadlines over. Let's just stop with that, okay? Let's fix what we have here right now. And right now what I see is a problem with the offensive line. And yes, Lane Johnson being hurt, Fred Johnson having to come in. That hurts you because Fred is not Lane. And also you take away from that jumbo package because Matt Pryor is not Fred Johnson. You just take away from all that. Cam Jurgens, finally back. Gets hurt at the end of the game. Brett Toth, not Cam Jurgens, has played well. But again, I like Toth. I like Fred Johnson. But they are not the respective guys they're filling in for. So that's a big thing, a big reason for a lot of struggles, and maybe a big reason for a lot of these play calls not working, and maybe a change in the play calling because of things not working, or because, so when we point finger, well, not me, when other people want to point fingers at one sole person or one reason, like they did last year, fire Vic Fangio, then the next week it was trade Jalen Hurts, and then it was fire Kellen Moore, and then each week, and then even in the playoffs, you got to fire Kellen Moore, everybody sucks, and it's like, I remember it vividly last year because I was trying to get everyone to be a fan of the Eagles, and I'm like, you're going to miss the greatest season of all time. And they did. I mean, they get to say now that they're fans after we won the Super Bowl, but I mean, like, the whole season was awesome. So that's crazy to me. But this year we're trying to get people to understand the context of things and why it's a whole effort for the offense here. It's not just Kevin Patullo being a new play caller. No. The offensive line has definitely been ass, and not just in this game where I talk about injuries. We're talking about giving up sacks. This whole year having issues and having injury issues. Landon Dickerson earlier in the year. All these things where, I thought, to me, it was pretty apparent. But, okay, John, appreciate you tuning in, man. And I thought, this offensive line could really just improve a lot with Cam Jurgens back. Lane gets hurt. A lot of things just, it's football, man. You always want it to go a certain way like it's on paper, but it's not how it works. So it's always next man up. Got to figure it out, man. But that to me has always been a big blow. But I thought Jordan Mailata, I thought the guys really held up. Aiden Hutchinson didn't do crap last night. I thought, overall, they were getting some pressure. Some plays were falling apart, but it wasn't all the offensive line's fault. We'll get into that in a second. But, I just think overall, that is an issue for me. So it's not just Padulo, it's the offensive line. And then, well, let's just talk about QB1. Did he have a good game? No, he did not. Are we going to sit here and listen to people make hit pieces on him? No, I'm not. But, they're going to, and they're always going to do this. And it's always just this dumb stuff. And yes, he threw for 50%. It was 17 for 34, I believe it was, right? So, or no. It was, I'm completely thinking of different numbers. 14 for 28 is what Jalen Hurts was. And 14 for, what was it, like 37 or something like that for Jared Goff. I just think he had like way more passes and just the same amount of completions. The guy that leads the league in completion percentage. So yesterday, maybe with all those like 30, 35 mile per hour winds, they could have, had an effect on the game. So maybe Jalen Hurts doesn't have a perfect game. All right. But again, the line not doing what it's supposed to, right? But Jalen Hurts, don't get me wrong, definitely some bad throws, but that does happen in the NFL. I don't know if you watch Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or any of these other guys, but they do have bad games all the time. The media just refuses to talk about this stuff. Nope, it is all about how the Eagles are the worst team in the world. It always is. So they're always going to stick to that narrative. That's fine. But Jalen Hurts is still doing what he can within, an offense that I think, is definitely struggling. A defense, they were playing the last couple of weeks coming at you, a lot of man, a lot of stuff where you think you could beat these guys, right, with players we have. But if you actually watch the receivers, Devontae Smith balling out yesterday, A.J. Brown does not look the same, man. And I just don't know if he's half-assing things. He gets down, he's pouting. And if that is so, oh, God save us. But it's not all on Jalen Hurts here. And sometimes maybe he is forcing it, but at this point, it kind of feels like it has to be forced because the media, the fans, everybody's going to cry and whine, and A.J. Brown's going to whine. So it's just, and I hate that we're trying to shut people up just so they stop being little Cowboys fans. But that's where we're at here. And then the tight ends, 88 got more. Well, he could have got more usage. He had that drop there in the beginning. I thought overall the tight ends, I don't even like talking about him anymore because, like, for years I've told you, you need another tight end. Calcaterra is not that guy. I've been told how awesome Calcaterra is. Look, I think Calcaterra is a good receiver. I do. But he cannot block. And I will just continue emphasizing the fact that he cannot block. And we run a lot of 12 personnel, so you need someone. So if you remember beginning of the season, I talked about a kid named Cameron Latou that was on this team and talked about giving him an opportunity. And then Ben Van Sumeren got hurt. And I said, well, this is a perfect opportunity to bring a kid like him on to the active roster, allow him to play that fullback role and be one of those blocking tight ends. We don't use him as a tight end. He got to play fullback, I think, like one snap yesterday. And then that was that. Why are we doing that? Why are we not giving? So Calcaterra just continues to be out there, continues not to be able to block, and it continues to drive me insane. But they definitely took away our guys, and they've got some good linebackers, good safety. So, hey, they did a good job. Their defense definitely came to F and play. That is for sure. Tofel didn't move at all during the Brotherly Show. Yeah, man, and it's definitely, you can see the difference, right? You can see the difference. Tiffany, appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're doing well, sicko. Hope you're having a great Monday. And, yeah, the penalties, what did we talk about right before the game? You got to clean that stuff up. You're not turning the ball over, but you're still going with the self-inflicted wound for the stupid stuff. And I don't want to see it anymore, man. I really don't. So clean it up. And then, we talked about the receivers, and we talk about the tight ends. So that leaves us Saquon Barkley, where, the line I don't feel is always playing the greatest. And the injuries definitely help, but Saquon's not exactly being the greatest either. I don't know if he's scared or the line's different, so it's just messing with them. Things just aren't going. Like, I try to look at the context of everything and understand all of the details, and I don't know, man. I just feel like when, it's just like a poison, it just kind of spreads. And the offense right now, when one thing's awry, it's just the domino effect, man. And it's just where we're at right now. So, again, I don't think it's like a lack of talent, and it's a lack of understanding. So, like, the coaching and the playing here is not something that cannot be fixed to a point where we dominate, not just win games. handily, because we are winning. I don't know if you know that. I know the media would convince you and most of our fans, but I'm telling you, we are actually winning these games that they are losing their minds about. But again, I would love to clean things up. The great thing is you have time to do that. It is going into week 12, Dallas sucks, and we'll take care of the Cowboys, and then you got the Bears, and it's 1 week at a time here. We'll figure it out, man. And we're going into Dallas next week. It's a dome game. I think we'll get out of the cold. We'll hopefully get some health back to us, right? So we'll hope so. But I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be behind enemy lines, talking about the Cowboys, everything that's changed since we saw them in week 1, how they're doing so far this season since we whooped that ass in week 1. But, we'll get to know everything about the Cowboys, of course, the Eagles' Week 12 opponent. But if you guys have any questions, anything you'd like to add, a player of the game, my player of the game, Jordan Davis probably, I love that he continues to shut the haters up. You remember this offseason we talked about he and Moro Ajomo, and Carter doesn't have too many haters, but people that, just don't know football. Talking about what a nose tackle is and not understanding why he doesn't have 10 sacks. Just a lot of idiocy out there. I don't want to be mean, but it's bad. But they see what I mean, and I'm real proud of that kid. But Nakobe Dean, also phenomenal. Quinyon Mitchell, locking up Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. I mean, it's kind of hard to give a game ball to anybody, but they did all really great. Vic Fangio in this defense. Kudos to you. How about that? Just the whole defense. You guys get it. But, man, got the win, right? That is what matters most, ladies and gentlemen. So, F the haters that want to sit here. And I saw Seth Joyner, and I try to warn you guys, these dudes turn on us so quickly, man. You got to watch out for it. But they're here, and we got to remind them you are not welcome back on this. So, we'll see. But I appreciate you all tuning in. Tomorrow, the same schedule as every single week, every single month and year here on the Road to Victory. Regular schedule. So tomorrow, behind enemy lines, you'll get to know the opponent for week 12. Cowboys suck. You'll get the initial injury report for Wednesday. Get to know everything about each player that is banged up for both the Eagles and the Cowboys, who suck. And then, of course, Thursday, you'll get the updated injury report with that top matchup show. So look out for the top matchups in that game between the Eagles and Cowboys, who suck. And then Friday, of course, is the game status report, who's out, who's questionable. Saturday, practice squad elevations. Do my best to get any live shows in. And, of course, if anybody signed or the practice squad moves, I'll do everything I can to keep you up to date with that. But all I've got for you here tonight, if you're watching this later, you want to throw something in, you're watching now, you think of something, you want to add it, go ahead and leave her down below. You guys have anything else, you're going through anything, you can always reach out to me here, ladies and gentlemen. I love each and every one of you. I hope you're doing great. I want to show these off one more time. So while you hear everybody complaining, whining about how the Eagles suck, and just remind them where this team stands currently. And, not just the Kings of the NFC East at 8-2, but also sitting atop the NFC with that number 1 seed. And, we just got to do our thing to ensure we hold on to it. And let's go control our destiny on the road to victory and on the road to winning that back-to-back Super Bowl and building this dynasty, baby. So if you're with me, I'm going to need to see those 2 words down below. That's all I have for you here tonight. Appreciate you hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, becoming members for the super chats, for the hyping up, all the stuff you guys are able to do. There's so many things that you can do now. It's pretty cool. YouTube keeps adding, but the one thing they won't do is give you guys notifications. So you helping spread the word helps those notifications get out there more, I do believe. So we'll keep going together, sickos. But I appreciate you flying with me. Hope you all have a great rest of your Monday night. Hope to see you tomorrow. But until then, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now, sickos. Go Birds!